Hey Techno Studs, welcome to my videos on troubleshooting. Troubleshooting is a huge part of this career. You're going to have to do quite a bit of troubleshooting, so doing it efficiently is going to be important. So that's what we're going to cover. The next few videos that I have is actually going to be different issues that I'm going to introduce into the network, and we're going to go through the process of how to troubleshoot those issues. Now, you can watch these videos and hopefully you'll pick up some stuff from the videos, but even better is if you can say, what would I do in this scenario? So we're gonna come up with this scenario. We're gonna say, okay, what would you do in this scenario? Then I'll explain what my approach would be, and then we'll see if those two measure up. And you'll learn the material much better if you do that. So as you're thinking through this process, keep thinking, okay, what steps would I do in this scenario? Before we get into testing and troubleshooting of the first issue, what I'm going to do is explain a little bit about our network map. Here we see a picture of our network map. I have the demo laptop, and that is what the machine that I'm on right now, and we're going to be using it for our testing and troubleshooting. I have switch 1 here, which is the main switch in the middle of all of this. Switch 2, which is the one that my demo laptop is plugged into. Switch 3, which my 3 Pis are plugged into. And the demo laptop, the 3 switches, and the demo Pi 1 are all part of the same network. They're part of the management network. And you can see here I've got a small label of the different networks that I have, the different VLANs I have. I also have this right here explaining the different VLANs. Just know that demo Pi 2 is on the server network, demo Pi 3 is then on one of the user networks. So that's how this is broken down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first of all just see if I got some basic connectivity. I'm going to ping to demo Pi 1 and see if I can ping over to demo Pi 1. So I'm gonna do a ping 10.1.10.21 is the IP address of that demo Pi. And not surprisingly, since this is a troubleshooting lesson, we're not able to get through, so something is wrong here. So the next thing that I want to do is figure out where the issue lies. I don't know if it lies within the laptop, within switch 2, within switch 1, within switch 3, or the demo Pi 1. So I'm gonna have to figure out where is the boundaries of this and figure out how far I can actually get. So that's going to be the next step, is I'm going to start seeing what machines I can ping to. And I'm going to start out by trying to ping switch 2. So I'm going to ping 10.1.10. That switch 2 is 12. So I'll ping that, and I see I even have problems connecting to that switch as well. All right, so then here's where, once again, ask yourself, okay, what would be the next steps you would do? What would you check? Well, one of the things that I would check would be the interface to see even if we have basic connectivity. So I'm going to do an IP config and hit enter. And you can ignore the Wi-Fi connection. That's how I'm remoting into this desktop right here. But we see the Ethernet adapter right here. It's got a IP version 4 address, so it has connectivity to it, it both has connectivity. It is connected, and it also has an IP address. So we should see something from a computer standpoint. I would assume that this could get out. So then what would be the next step? What would you do? I'm going to next, I've checked the computer. It seems to have connectivity to the switch. So let me go to now the switch and see what kind of connectivity I have on the switch. So I'm going to pull the switch up right here, and I'm going to hit enter to get into this switch. I need to get the credentials in here. So I'll copy the password, get into enable mode, Copy that. All right, I'm on the switch. And one of the first things I like to do, I use this command a lot, is show IP interface brief. It gives me a quick view of all the interfaces and what's happening on the interfaces. Now this is connected into port 34. So I'm going to take a look at port 34, and I took a look at this, and it actually says that it's down. Well, that's interesting because my computer is plugged into port 34. I look at the computer, and the computer sees that the interface is up. The computer sees that the interface is live. But when I look on here, it says that it's down. The other thing that I noticed too is that Fast Ethernet 33 is up right here. And so 33 is up. Well, that makes me clue into maybe I've actually got this plugged into the wrong port. So next, what I'm going to do is if I'm probably physically check and see, yeah, in fact, I am plugged into port 33 and it's up. But why still can't I communicate to the other side? I mean, I still am connected into the switch. So what's wrong there? So I'm going to do a show run interface FA033 to see about the programming. And I've got description, null access port, switch port, access mode 5, VLAN 5. Aha, so this is on a separate VLAN. It's on a different VLAN. It's because it's plugged into another port now, it's not on the same VLAN. So here is where I have two options here. I can reconfigure port 33 for this connectivity, or I can go and physically unplug it from port 33 to 34, which is actually what I'm going to do. I want this device to be on port 34, and one of the reasons why I've already got it all programmed up and calls it out that it's the demo laptop. It's on the proper VLAN, so I want to make sure that this gets over. Rather than reprogram the ports, I'm going to just move it over to there. So I'm going to make that switch, and then we'll do some testing. I just moved over the Ethernet cord to another port, to port 34, so it's on the correct one. And now let's see if we can do our ping. So we're going to ping the interface of, I could do either one, I could do the switch. We've got some sort of pinging of the switch. So we're up and running. We have fixed that problem. So number one issue was that this was connected, the Ethernet cable was connected into a different port, and that put it on a different VLAN, and now we didn't have connectivity.